So, you've heard about trading, you're curious, but you have absolutely no idea where to even start. It feels overwhelming, right? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to lay out a simple, step-by-step roadmap for anyone starting from scratch. Let's dive in.
Now, this isn't just some textbook theory. The plan we're about to walk through is forged from 6 years of actual in-the-trenches trading. All the wins and, yep, all the losses too. The whole point is to give you a proven path, one that could seriously cut your learning curve in half and give you a huge leg up right from the get-go.
Here's the game plan, broken down into 5 simple stages. We're going to start by choosing your market, then picking the right tools for the job. After that, we'll cover the absolute essentials you need to learn, then show you how to build and test your own strategy, and finally, how to go live with real confidence. So let's jump into step 1.
First things first, you have to choose your battlefield. And honestly, this might be the most important decision you make at the very beginning. It sets the foundation for everything else you're going to do. The market you pick literally defines the rules of the game and the kind of opportunities you'll see.
So how do you even make that choice? Well, there's a fantastic analogy for this. Think of it like opening a restaurant. Trading in a smaller local market, that's like opening your restaurant in a tiny village. Sure, you might do okay, but your growth is capped. But trading in the Forex market, the global foreign exchange market, that's like opening your restaurant in the middle of New York City. The potential is just massive. For a beginner, the choice is pretty clear. You want to go where the opportunity is.
All right, you've picked your market. You've decided to set up shop in the big city. Now, you need to right gear to actually do business. And in trading, that means picking your broker and your trading platform. These are the essential tools that connect you to the market.
So what even is a broker? Let's make this super simple. Think of them as the middleman. When you decide you want to buy something, say gold, the broker's job is to connect you with someone out there who wants to sell it. They make the transaction happen, and for that service, they take a tiny fee. That's really all there is to it.
But, and this is a huge but, choosing your broker is not something to take lightly. A bad one with crazy high fees can make a bad situation worse. For example, a 50% loss can balloon into a 60% loss just because of their commissions. That's a much deeper hole to climb out of. And even worse, there are outright scams out there. It doesn't matter if you're the world's best trader if your broker just vanishes with your money. So the bottom line is this: choosing a legit, regulated broker is absolutely non-negotiable.
Now, once you have a good broker, you need a platform. This is the software, the app, where you'll actually be looking at charts and clicking the buy and sell buttons. For beginners, you want something user-friendly. These 3 are fantastic options to start with: MetaTrader 5, TradeLocker, and CTrader. They're all solid and easy to get the hang of.
Okay, time for the learning part. And this is where so many beginners get completely stuck. They try to read every book, watch every video, and end up with total information overload. The real secret is to ignore 99% of the noise and focus only on the few key concepts that actually matter.
And here it is. This is a huge insight. The single most important concept you can learn outside of managing your risk is liquidity, plain and simple. If you can figure out where the liquidity is in the market, you can start to predict where the price is likely to go next. Understanding this one idea is a total game changer.
So, liquidity is number 1. After that, you just need to focus on a few other core ideas: support and resistance levels, trend lines, and getting a feel for volume and momentum. That's it. Your goal isn't to become a walking encyclopedia. It's to get really good at just 3 or 4 of these concepts and use them as the building blocks for your entire strategy.
So, you've got the essential knowledge down, but knowledge by itself doesn't make you money, right? The next step is to turn what you've learned into a real, concrete plan of action, a trading strategy that you can rely on because it's backed by actual data. And the process is a pretty simple 4-step loop. First, you build a set of clear rules using those concepts we just talked about. Second, you backtest it. You test your rules on old charts, at least a year's worth of data. Third, you analyze the results. Where did you lose? Were there patterns? And fourth, you improve the strategy by getting rid of what didn't work. Then you just repeat that loop. And let's just be totally honest here. The idea of taking your hard-earned money and throwing it at the market without having any data to prove your strategy actually works, well, it's just insane. Backtesting isn't some optional step. It's the only logical way to prove to yourself that your plan is a real shot before you risk a single cent. So what are you aiming for during this testing phase? What does good even look like? Your target is to keep refining your rules until you hit a win rate of about 80%.
That number gives you a really solid cushion because, as you're about to see, the real world is always a little messier.
And this is a super important reality check. A strategy that nails an 80% win rate in backtesting will probably drop to around 60% when you go live. Why? Because live markets are, well, they're live. You've got real-time emotions, sudden news, things you just can't simulate. But hey, a 60% win rate is still incredibly profitable, and that's why we aim high in the testing phase.
Okay, you've done all the hard work. You've got your market, your tools, and a strategy you've proven with data. You are so close. This last part is all about bridging that final gap between practice and the real thing, so you can step up to the plate with total confidence.
Before you even think about putting real money in, you got to go through this final pre-launch checklist. First, open a demo account. It's free, uses fake money, and it's completely risk-free. Second, practice your strategy in that demo account over and over until executing a trade feels like second nature. And only then, after you're comfortable and seeing good results, should you finally fund a live account.
And there you have it. That is the complete roadmap. We literally went from knowing absolutely nothing to having a clear, actionable plan that takes you right up to the doorstep of your very first trade. The path is all laid out for you.
So the plan is right here. The path from 0 to 1 is crystal clear. The only question left is the one on your screen right now. You have the roadmap. What's your first move going to be? Thanks for tuning in.